Through this video, our goal is to inform you how Iran's oil production dwindled due to the problems it encountered as a country, and this, in effect, disabled Iran from fully monetizing from its black gold. Approximately 3 years after the revolution was over in Iran, the production of oil got better and Iran saw an increase in the number of barrels exported per day, but it was not getting much profit as expected. The Iranian government wanted to play a better role in the OPEC to increase production. This, however, was during the war between Iraq and Iran. So the OPEC was split into two groups. On the Iraqi side, there were the moderates. On the Iran side, there were the radicals. Iran did not have a good treatment, and Iraq would get better benefits in the OPEC. Iran tried to boost its sales by selling oil at a discounted price, which helped raise sales. It take a separate deal with the country and the use of OPEC's price as a reference rate. Nevertheless, it did not last long because the price of oil collapsed and Iran could not use OPEC as a reference rate any longer. The war between Iraq and Iran between 1980 to 1988 made Iran struggle to pay for expenses. Furthermore, Iran saw an increase in internal oil consumption, which led to a decrease in its oil exportations. In fact, Iran's share of OPEC production, which was 10.3% in 1979, declined to 6.14% in 1981. Its production declined by 40%. The National Iranian Oil Company, also known as the NIOC, is the largest in the country and one of the biggest in the Middle East. In the early 1970s, Iran played an important role in setting OPEC's oil price. However, in the late 1970s, there was a shift in power between the OPEC and the oil companies, which favored the OPEC. This happened because during the Arab-Israel War, the OPEC cut production by 5% in oil supply and stopped supplying oil to some other countries. This led to a dramatic increase in the price of oil. This, of course, boosted Iran's oil revenues. However, this happened because the Iranian government had increased oil production greatly so that more money could come into the country. Ahmadinejad wanted to help the people of his country. He was a populist leader. One of his goals was to put the petroleum income on people's tables. Ahmadinejad wanted to use the oil profits to help the poor and young Iranians. During Ahmadinejad's administration, he started direct cash payments to families. This plan was beneficial for poor Iranian families. The plan was well executed, consumption decreased, and the income that was provided aided the families significantly. But the conflict within the Iranian government, the decline in the value of the rial due to sanctions, inflations, and the negligence of aiding rundown businesses rendered this plan to be unsuccessful. Iran had been suffering with an energy crisis. The United States was aware that this energy crisis could change the country from an exporter to an importing country. This would ultimately damage the country's economy. The Iranian government had plans on making a network of nuclear power plants to address the situation. The United States does not believe the nuclear program is in the business of making electricity but making nuclear warheads. This is one of the reasons why Iran was sanctioned in the first place. Iran needed to straighten the energy crisis and make a deal with the UN. If they do not do this soon, they're suspected to stop being an exporter in less than 15 years. This would absolutely destroy the economy and the oil market for Iran.